Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a BMW. This is a 335i. We're going to remove the valve cover gasket, right from removing this top cover all the way to removing the gasket. I'm going to take you through a smooth process. So first things first, you remove your hood. And before I proceed, I would like to point out this is for a BMW 335i from 2012 to 2015. So the tools you'll need, these are the tools you need, guys. It's going to be 17 and 14 millimeter, 11, 10, all the way to the ratchet. These are the tools you'll need. So please, you can pause the video and then you get all the tools right. And then please do not forget that you also need this flexible tool right here, which will help you when removing one of the bolts, which is going to be in the corner. I will explain to you later on. So together this you're going to use an kind of like an extension to give you more leverage. So first things first, we begin the procedure. We just remove the cover. So this cover is being held by some hooks in this front part. So unlike other 3 Series, this is a 6-cylinder. So if anybody has done a valve cover for X5, they just look almost similar. So to start with, only just with small minor differences. Okay, the first things first, you remove this cover seal, which acts as a sealant. So what you do, you take it out, and when you're taking out, there's some kind of like connection in there. And then when we finish there, you remove this 10 millimeter cover. It's kind of like a cover covering the brake area where the brake fluid is, and then covering where the computer is. So once that is done, you take a 10 millimeter, you open 3 bolts on each side is a 10 millimeter, and then once that is done, we have a 4th bolt. I'll explain to you that one in a moment. So the next thing which we do, we remove this E18. E18 is an E-Tox 18. You remove 4 bolts. So once that is done, you take out this frame, you put it on the side. And then I remember telling you guys earlier, there's one 10 millimeter which is hidden, which is just right here. So what you do, you just come, is going to be on driver's side. Once you take that thing out, this whole bracket, plastic bracket, will come out. You take out the bracket, it just comes easy like that. And the next thing is remove this kind of a cushion thing. And then once that's out of the way, our valve cover is going to be exposed the way it is right now. And then you start disconnecting this stuff, this wiring harness connectors. So first you start removing this thing right here to give you leverage. It's going to give you enough space to remove these power cables. And then you disconnect these oxygen sensors. And then you disconnect this connector too. Alright, once you disconnect them, you can just let them just lie in there. And then the next thing, you're disconnecting this vacuum hose. Is really a bit tricky. You'll need a flat Phillips, and I will always advise you to use like several, because they're like 4 kind of point of connection. So you can use several Phillips when you're just one person, and then you can just try to pry it out gently, don't break it. Although it's always recommended that when you're replacing your valve cover, it's always good to replace this vacuum hose too. So the hose just comes out like that, and then you can just push it on the side. Next thing is to disconnect our ignition coils, so you can just remove them from right there. Once that is done, next we have to take out the ignition coils completely to give us enough space to work on the injectors. And then after the injectors, we're going to remove these 8mm grounds, which is just holding here. So they're 3 in number, so you take them out. And when that's done, you can remove the wiring harness. And then next is this gas line. So the gas line is going to be held by 11 millimeters. So I use a socket. So they're going to be 4 bolts. So make sure when you're doing that, don't let them drop inside the intake manifold, because it's going to give you a hard time. Just make sure you just take them out with ease like that, and then it should be able to come out. So to completely disconnect this gas line, what you need is a 17 millimeters, which is going to disconnect the main kind of like a nut, and then the rest of the nuts you just use a 14 millimeters, and then should be able to come out. And then don't forget to remove your connector, which is going to be on the other end towards the inner side. Then once that is done, this thing just comes out easy. And then you can just take it entirely and then put it on the side. Next things is you have to remove this kind of like this power cable. It's kind of like a bracket. It's just going to be on the corner. So you remove the is a Torx 20. You just take it out, and then you can just pry it out with a flat Phillips. Also know that part of this bracket is blocking a one E12 bolt. It's an E11, literally the E11 bolt is blocking it out. So you have to pry it out, and then you take it out. And then to the front of the car, next to the oil cup, the engine oil cup, we have a Torx 20. We just take it out, and then this kind of like this hose is going all the way to the oil cooler housing is going to move on the side, and then to give us space to remove this valve cover. Also pay attention, you have this brittle coolant hoses right here, so be careful. Don't just lie anywhere, just anyhow. It might just break anyhow. So right, the last part, which is removing the valve cover, is just removing this 11 E11 Torx 11. You just do them all round. So this is the place I was telling you guys you need kind of like a flexible extension. It's just right in the corner. So this is where this our tool comes handy. Is what you're going to use on the extension, and then you can take it out without a problem. Once that is done, you can take out the remaining bolts, and then this valve cover is out. So once you take out the valve cover, just pay attention to it's just going to pretty come out that easy. I think this is one of the easiest BMW, apart from something on the corner, the one I was showing you earlier on. So I'll just highlight on it briefly, so that when you're putting it back, because it gave me like a bit of a problem. So what you do is this power cable is you just completely pry it out from right there. So once you pry it out, you take it out all the way up. Just take your time. So once this thing comes out of the way, you just pry it all the way, you take it back, and then once it's all the way back, it's going to give you enough space to play around. So this is very crucial when you're putting back the valve cover. It's not going to like kind of like affect our valve cover. So once that is like that, you can just put it safely, and then you can return the bracket back later on. All right, one last thing is I told you guys earlier on that normally when you're doing valve cover, is also advisable to replace this right here. This is a vacuum hose. So to replace it, it is one connector below it, and then there's a Torx 20. So those are the two things you're going to take out. Then once that is done, you can pretty much just pull it out. All right, thank you for watching this. I hope really it helps you out. Let's see you next time.